A very good afternoon everyone. I hope everyone's doing absolutely fine. Welcome to day number 24 where we are going to be solving some questions on vectors, and let me tell you that this is going to be the final session on vectors because from tomorrow onwards we are about to start units and dimension. So if you can recall that we discussed all the concepts of vectors and we solved some questions for the last half an hour which was being conducted in the previous session. So am I audible to everyone? If yes, give a thumbs up and let's start this session accordingly. Hello? Yes, okay, fine. So today we are going to be solving some questions on vectors. These questions are really mind-boggling and these are based upon the previous year questions. Okay, so let's get started. So are you ready to take the challenge? If yes, give a thumbs up and hit the like button before the session itself. Along with that, let's try to solve each and every questions. So this is the first question. I think so I gave you as homework if you can recall. Today's first question is this one. So the resultant of this force is OP, OQ, OR. OT is approximately, it's being given N, isn't it? And you need to find out the values associated with it. So now what needs to be done? So you can start solving this question and write it down the answer over there in the chat box, everyone. So if yes, let's get started. So we'll start with, you can see there are certain vectors. This is vector number 1, this is vector 2, this is vector 3, this is vector 4, isn't it? And vector 5. There are 5 vectors, isn't it? You can mark this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vectors. So now we have to do the analysis one after the other. So let's start the analysis, everyone. So are we ready for that? Let's get started. So we'll start with OQ. So the first vector over here, if you're able to see, this is OQ vector over here. And you can see that OQ makes an angle of 30 degree with respect to the x-axis, isn't it? And you can see that the magnitude is 10 newtons. So what I will be doing, this is 10 newtons is being given. So now if I resolve it into components, the horizontal component is going to be 10 cosine of 30 degrees I cap, isn't it? And the y component is going to be 10 sine of 30 degrees j cap, isn't it? So if I solve it, I will be getting it as 5 j cap. And you can also start solving along with me, everyone. And this is going to be 5 root 3 I cap. So as a result, we were able to investigate the first vector. So this is the way by which you can investigate each and every vectors one after the other, write it on the sequence and then start resolving it into components. Resolution needs to be performed accordingly. So now the next vector over here is OP, isn't it? So let's try to mark the second vector over here. OP, once again it's lying in the first quadrant itself and the magnitude is 20 newtons, isn't it? So once again you can see that the angle, what is going to be the angle you can see for this OP, everyone? So this is going to be the angle, isn't it? So you can see that this angle they are trying to say which it is making with respect to the x-axis, or else it's already been given that it's making some angle of 30 degree with respect to the y-axis. You can also try to solve it by that convention as well, because you know that you are having lesser time to solve this type of question. So let's say that this vector OP, which is being given as your 20 newtons, is making some angle of 30 degree with respect to the y-axis, isn't it? So now if I resolve into components, this time I have already mentioned, isn't it? Yes, good evening, Yagneshri. So I have already mentioned you previously that if you are going to be having a vector making some angle theta with respect to the vertical, the horizontal component this time is not going to be cosine anymore. So you can write it down over here. This is going to be 20 sine of 30 I cap and this is going to be 20 cosine of 30 degrees j cap, isn't it? So if I solve it, I will be getting this as your 10 I cap, isn't it? And this is going to be equivalent to 10 root 3 j cap, isn't it? 20 into root 3 by 2. I will be getting it as 20, you can see that thing, everyone, 20 into root 3 by 2, that's going to be 10 root 3 j cap. So as a result, we are able to successfully investigate vector number 2. Now comes to the third vector over here which we are having, that is 15 newtons, which is lying in the second quadrant, isn't it? So now over here we can say that this is 15 newtons, everyone. So it's lying in the second quadrant, isn't it? And it's making some angle of 60 degree with the vertical. Okay, once again it's very easy. So now the x component has to be negative, because you have seen that in the previous cases I have chosen the components to be the mini version of the axis where the vector lies, isn't it? So this is going to be equivalent to what? I can say that minus 15 sine of 60 degrees of I cap, isn't it? That's what I can say. And the cosine component is going to be plus 15 cosine of 30 degrees j cap. So if I solve it, I will be getting it as 15 into root 3 by 2, and over here it is going to be, isn't it? And as a result, I can say over here, so give me a moment. So this is cosine of 60. That's what I was thinking. So this is cosine of 60, isn't it, everyone? You can see that the angle which it makes is 60 degrees. So I will write it down it as minus 15 sine 60 degrees I cap. So minus 15 root 3 by 2. And this is cosine of 60. 15 cosine of 60, it is going to be 15 by 2 j cap. So as a result, we are successfully able to resolve that vector into components as well. Now following with the fourth one. So fourth one is 15 newtons once again, but now this is in the third quadrant, isn't it? So like this. Now you can see that the angle it makes with respect to the horizontal, isn't it? 45 degrees. So now this how you can resolve the components accordingly, isn't it? So what is going to be the, this is 15, isn't it? So the x component is going to be equivalent to minus 15 cos 45 degrees I cap, and the vertical component over here is going to be minus 15 sine of 45 degrees j cap. So that is going to be minus 15 by root 2 I cap. You know that cosine of 45 is 1 by root 2. Over here as well, I will be getting it as minus 15 by root 2 j cap. Now last but not the least, the fifth vector, which is 20 newtons, making an angle of 45 with respect to the x-axis in the fourth quadrant. So what is going to be the analysis of it? Let's try to draw it like this as everyone. So this is 45 degrees as they have given it to us, everyone, over there. So this component, this is your 15. No, sorry, 20 newtons is being given. So we are having it as, so each and everything needs to be done carefully, else we are going to be stuck in the upcoming context, means while solving the question, okay. So the x component is going to be 20 cos 45 degrees I cap, and the y component over here is going to be minus 20 sine 45 degrees j cap, isn't it? So 20 cos 45 is going to be equivalent to 20 by root 2 I cap, and over here I can write it down it as minus 20 by root 2 j cap, isn't it? I hope it's clear. The resolution is clear. If yes, give a thumbs up, hit the like button. Let's try to proceed. Now what we have to do over here is finding out the resultant, isn't it? So you know how to write down the resultant, isn't it? So all the x components needs to be added based upon the sign convention. Let's start with the first vector. What is the x component? This one. So I will write it down it as 5 root 3 I cap associated with 10, isn't it? Which was making some angle of 30, isn't it? Yes or no, everyone? So now the next is going to be 20 newtons, which is making some angle of 30 degree with the y axis, isn't it? So we were getting it as, you can see that 20 sine 30 I cap I was getting, and this was 20 cos 30 j cap. So I will write it down it as plus 10 I cap, isn't it? Now we are going to be moving to the third vector over here, which was making some angle 60 degree with the vertical, and the horizontal component was 15 sine 60, that was minus of 15, isn't it, by root 3 by 2, isn't it? I cap, this is what we can write it down over here, followed by this value of the fourth vector in the fourth quadrant, which was minus of 15 by root 2 I cap, followed by this, which is, we were getting it as plus 20 by root 2 I cap. So you need to add this up. Similarly, you can write down, add up the y components, isn't it? Because in the answer, they have just given it in the form of y component and x component. There is no need to find out the resultant in the end. So what is the answer? You can write it down over there in the chat box, everyone. What do you think? So you can write it down, the y component. Let's try to write it in some different color for a better understanding. Y component, these are the y components in yellow, isn't it? This, then this, isn't it? These are the y components, the one which I am marking, which I'm about to write it down. So y is going to be equivalent to, you can say that 5 j cap, isn't it? Over here I was having it as 20 cos 30, so it is plus 10 root 3 j cap, isn't it? And over here once again I was having it as 15 by 2 j cap, isn't it? Over here I was having minus 15 by root 2 j cap, and over here I was having it as minus of 20 by root 2 j cap. Isn't it, everyone? That is minus of 20 by root 2 j cap I was having over here. You can solve this. So if I solve this one, I will be getting, you can say, all of the expressions, we have to solve it furthermore. So I will be getting somewhere around 5 j cap. Just check it once. And if I solve this one, I will be getting the answer as 9.25 of I cap, everyone. So Just check it, everyone. What do you think? Do you get the answer over here? Just do the calculations. Are you getting this? Waiting for your answers, everyone. College will be starting after 10th, right? Someday, after 10th. Option 1, yes, correct. So, now you can see that it is 9.25 I cap, I am getting it over here. So, you need to solve it perfectly, isn't it? And this is going to be 5 of J cap. So, as a result, now I can write it down. So, as a result, I will be getting it as option number 1 as our give list of options. So, it is going to be 9.25 I cap plus 5 J cap. So, that's how these type of questions are required to be solved. So, you can take these values. Root 3 is 1.7, root 2 is 1.4. And put it over there in the expression, you will be getting these values itself over here. Okay. So I hope it's clear, everyone. If yes, give a thumbs up, hit the like button. So this is how your JEE main, this question was being asked in 2021 in the morning session. That was the COVID year. Okay. So now let's try to solve the next question, because today we are going to be solving the questions in a brainstorming fashion, isn't it? We need to do all the questions because we have to wrap a vector. We have already discussed we need to solve all the questions. So what about this one? Two vectors P and Q have equal magnitudes if the magnitude of P plus Q is n times, isn't it? That of the magnitude of P minus of Q, isn't it? That's what it's being given. So can you tell me the answer? What do you think it's going to be? Write it down over there in the chat box, everyone. And this question was being asked in JEE main 2021 in the evening session over here. That was 28th of July. So what needs to be do? What we have to do, everyone? What needs to be done? So it is being given that mod of P plus Q is n times of mod of P minus of Q. That's what it's being given. Now you can write down the expressions accordingly. That is going to be square root of P square plus Q square. You know that, right? The addition of two vectors plus 2PQ cosine of theta, isn't it, is going to be equivalent to n times that of square root of P square plus Q square minus of 2PQ cos theta, isn't it? So that's what we can say. If yes, give a thumbs up. Let's try to solve it accordingly. What we have to do, everyone? Okay, see, you are getting, so squaring on both the sides, what I will be getting, I think so he got the correct answer. So P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cosine of theta is going to be equivalent to n square, and over here I will be having P square plus Q square minus of 2PQ cosine of theta. So now they have also given you another thing. They have also given you another condition over here, if you're able to see. They are just trying to say that two vectors P and Q have equal magnitudes. So I can say that mod of P is equivalent to mod of Q. Then what needs to be done? You can I write it down it as P square plus Q, P square itself plus 2P square cosine of theta it's going to become. And over here I will be having n square, isn't it? Over here P square plus P square minus of 2P square cosine of theta. Yes or no? So now this is going to become 2P square plus 2P square cosine of theta, isn't it? And over here I will be getting it as n square. You can solve it 2P square minus 2P square cosine of theta over here. So now what we have to do over here in this case, so you can expand this. So you can write it down it as 2P square, isn't it? Plus, isn't it, everyone? So 2P square, you just need to expand this expression a bit. So it is going to be 2P square plus 2P square cosine theta, isn't it, is going to be equivalent to 2P square n square. Let's try to incorporate this n square inside, minus of 2P square n square cosine of theta. I hope it's clear. So now let's try to bring this cosine theta all together. So I will be getting this as 2P square cosine theta plus 2P square n square cos theta. I am bringing this expression to the LHS, and this expression similarly can be brought to the RHS, isn't it? 2P square n square minus of 2P square, isn't it? So let's try to take this 2P square as common, isn't it? Cos theta, I can take it as common actually. So this expression is going to become 1 plus n square, isn't it? And over here I will be having 2P square n square minus of 1. This 2P square gets cancelled out. So cos of theta is going to be n square minus of 1 by 1 plus n square. So theta can be written as cos inverse of, isn't it? You know that the representation very well, how to convert the theta in terms of ITR, which is inverse trigonometric function, which I've already mentioned it for a couple of times in this bridge course session, isn't it? So n square minus 1 by 1 plus n square. So which of the option it is? Option number C is going to be the correct option to this question which matches amongst our given list of option. I hope it's clear. If yes, give a thumbs up, hit the like button, and let's proceed to the next question. Is it clear, everyone? So I'm waiting for your response, because today we have to solve all the questions as a brainstorming way, all the PYQs. Okay, shall we proceed to the next question? Okay, let's get started to the next question over here. Yes, so next question is over here, everyone. So I want you to solve this and mark the answer. So you can see that in the cube of side A shown in the figure, the vector from the central point, actually this should be point, everyone. So point of the face ABOI. So they have mentioned the face. कौन सा face है बताइए? ABOI. Somewhere over here it is going to be. This is AB, so I will just try to label this. This is AB, everyone, isn't it? Oh, this is O. And I think so it's going to be somewhere over here. They are saying about this faces, okay? Or the face to the central point of the face BEFY, isn't it? So BEFI actually it should be, isn't it? This is I, everyone. So BEFI, this face and this face they are trying to say. These two faces which I have drawn. So what do you think is going to be the, actually they are just trying to say that this is going to be ABOD. Okay, this question, this is ABOD and this is BEFI, if I say, or Y you can consider. So you need to find out the vector representation of it. So what do you think it's going to be? You can see that this vector, the vector which is being represented over here, this G point lies on this ABOD plane, isn't it? So ABOD plane is along the, you can write it down over here, that this ABOD plane is actually the XZ plane, isn't it? That is your XZ plane. Similarly, if I say about this BFOI plane is, can you identify the plane, everyone? This lies in the YZ plane. So now if it is lying in the XZ plane, it will be associated with the unit vectors along the X and the Z direction, isn't it? And similarly, you can see that if it is lying in the YZ plane, it will be only associated with the Y direction and the Z direction, isn't it? So now you can see that you need to write down the unit vector, isn't it? So GH, what is the final point? H, right? And G is the initial point. So I can say that H is the final point, isn't it? H final, I will write it down like this, and this is GH final, and over here you can say that G is the initial point over here. So we can write down the vectors associated with H final and G initial, isn't it? So let's start with G initial. You can say that this point is lying in the, G point lies in the XZ plane, isn't it? So the unit vector which is going to be, that's going to be equivalent to, you can write it down it as A by 2, because it's half of it. You can see that it's half of the side of the cube, or you can say the edge length of the cube. So this is going to be equivalent to I cap plus K cap, isn't it? Similarly, the H final point which is being mentioned over here, that is going to be written as A by 2, isn't it? YZ means, you can write it down it as J cap plus K cap. So what we have to do, we need to subtract them, because they are asking you to find out the position vector, isn't it? So what we have to do, write down the answer, everyone. So this is going to be A by 2, you can take it as common, isn't it? J cap plus K cap is the final point, isn't it? So you can write down that GH is going to be equivalent to A by 2 over there, that is J cap plus K cap minus I cap minus of K cap, isn't it? So this K cap will be cancelled out. You are going to be left behind with A by 2 J cap minus of I cap, isn't it? It's going to be equivalent to J cap minus of I cap. So which of the following option it's matching, everyone? Which of the option it is? It is option number 2 over here, isn't it? So that's what we have to do. They are just trying to ask you the position vector associated over here. It's P. I hope it's clear. If yes, give a thumbs up, hit the like button, and you can see that it was being asked in JEE Main 10th January 2019 morning session. Okay, if yes, let's get started. Let's proceed to the next question, everyone. Very good, very good. You people are understanding this thing. It's really good. Now you are ready to take the challenge while entering the college, isn't it? And you are going to be getting glory in your future itself if you are able to understand all these things. So now let's proceed to the next question, everyone. This is the next question. You can see. So it's being given that two forces P and Q, magnitude 2F and 3F respectively, are at an angle theta with each other. If the force Q is doubled, then the resultant also gets doubled. What is the angle? What do you think is the answer? You can write it down over there in the chat box. What do you think it's going to be? So they are saying that P vector and Q vector, they are saying that P vector is equal to 2f. And they are also saying that Q vector is equal to 3f. Now, what interesting fact is that this was being asked in 10th January 2019, JEE Main. These are all interesting questions actually, isn't it? So let's try to find it out. What do you think it's going to be? Let's see, Anjali, what's going to be the answer over here. So there initially now you can see that if I say the resultant is R, isn't it? You know that resultant, if the resultant is R, you can say that it is going to be square root of P square plus Q square plus 2pq cosine of theta, isn't it? So now they are saying that, let's try to put the values, isn't it? You have to square the magnitude, isn't it? Squaring on both the sides, it's going to be P square plus Q square plus 2pq cosine of theta over here. So R square is going to be equivalent to, what is the value of P? You will be getting it as 4f square plus 9f square, isn't it? Plus 2 into 2f into, that means 2 into 2, 4, 3 is 12, isn't it? 12f square cosine of theta. I will be getting this as equation 1 based upon the first condition. The first condition it was being given. Now they are saying that this is the next condition which they have given us. Everyone, just try to pay attention. This was the first condition. They have just given you the values. Now the next condition which they are mentioning, that is if the force Q is doubled, isn't it? And the resultant also gets doubled. So what we have to do, this is going to become doubled, isn't it? That means now in this case, this is the initial condition, you can say. Now finally what is happening is the final is going to be something interesting. Okay, so mod P will be as it is going to be 2f itself. But they are saying that the magnitude of Q is being doubled, means 2 times into 3, I will be getting it as what? 6f, isn't it? That's what they are trying to say. Q is double. So the resultant will be also double. Now you are having a resultant of 2r, isn't it? The resultant is also being doubled in this question. So now we can form an equation for the next case as well. What will be the equation, everyone? So you can see that I will be writing down the form of square itself, isn't it? So now instead of, you can say that 2r whole square, isn't it, is going to be equivalent to P square is going to be equivalent to what? 4f square. This time it is going to be 6f ka whole square, that is going to be 36f square, isn't it? And plus 2 into 2, 4 into 6, that is 24f square, isn't it? Cosine of theta. I will be getting this as equation number 2. Now we have to solve these two equations. Okay, so this is going to be written as 4r square is going to be equivalent to 4f square, isn't it? Plus 36f square plus 24f square cosine of theta. So can you solve these two equations? Can we solve these two equations, everyone? If yes, give a thumbs up. So can we solve these two equations? What do you think will be the answer to the question? I'm waiting for your answer, everyone. You just need to solve these two equations over here. You can eliminate the resultant over here, right? So once again, I will write down the two equations over here. What was the first equation? The first equation was r square is equivalent to 4f square. I need the answer. Plus 9f square, isn't it? Plus 2, that is 12, isn't it? 12f square cosine of theta. And the second equation which we are having, that is 4r square, isn't it? That is going to be equivalent to 4f square plus what I am having? 36f square, the new value of Q. And over here I will be getting it as, what I will be getting? 2 into 4 into 6, 24, isn't it? 24f square cosine theta. So if I multiply it with 4, isn't it? If I multiply it with 4, what I will be getting? I can easily eliminate this. This means this is also going to be multiplied by 4. This is also multiplied by 4, isn't it? Then you can perform the subtraction of them, isn't it? So this will be getting eliminated. It's going to be 0. Over here I will be having 4 4s are 16f square, isn't it? The new value will be 16f square. 16 minus 4 is going to be 12f square, isn't it? Over here 36f square. Over here it will be 36f square, isn't it? This will be getting cancelled out. That's fine. Now what are we having over here? That is 48f square, isn't it? 48 minus of 24. What is 48 minus of 24, everyone? What do you think? 48 minus of 24. 48 minus of 24, what I will be getting? 24 itself, isn't it? So that is going to be 24 f square cosine of theta I will be having, isn't it? So now this becomes minus 12f square over here, and over here I will be having 24 f square cosine of theta. F square gets cancelled out. Cosine theta is going to be equivalent to minus 12 by 24, that is 12 times 2. Cos theta is going to be equal to minus of half, and theta is going to be equal to cosine inverse of minus of half. So I can say that theta is going to be 120 degrees, which is 2 pi by 3 radians. We have already discussed a lot of questions based upon this. So which option do you think? It's going to be option number D. If yes, give a thumbs up everyone. I hope you got it, and give me a thumbs up everyone, and hit the like button. Right? 60 nahi hoga Murli, inverse of minus half hai, right, isn't it? If it would have been plus half, then I would have said it's cos 60. Cos in the second quadrant is negative. All sine tan cos. Yes, D is the correct option. 24. Okay. So, okay, fine. So let's try to proceed to the next question. So this was also very interesting question, was being asked in JEE in 2019. It was being conducted in the evening session. Okay. Before COVID itself, it was being asked. So now let's try to proceed to the next question, everyone. This is the next question. You see that this question is a repetition. This was being asked in JEE in 2019. Why I'm making, now you will be able to understand why I'm making you solve the PYQs. The reason is very simple. You can see that same type of question we solved a few minutes back, isn't it? We are talking about this question. See, this was same type of question, is P and Q they are saying, and it was being asked in JEE in 2021 over here, if you are able to see. And now this question, same thing you can see, right, isn't it? It was being asked in JEE in 2019. So there is a finite probability that some questions, some PYQs are going to be repeated. So that's why you should be practicing the PYQs as much as you can if you really want to score 100 percentile in physics JEE in 2027, isn't it? So once again, you are going to be having the same answer, isn't it? C itself, that's what it's going to be, isn't it? C. Those who are in favor of C, they can give a thumbs up. Right, everyone? So this is a repetition. Repetition question is a repetition over here. That's what I wanted to show you all. This is a repetition, isn't it? So now let's proceed. Try it as your homework. Okay, you will be getting the same answer itself, n square minus 1 by n square plus 1, isn't it? Yes or no, everyone? The same thing it's being given. I will write down that mod of a plus b. They have just given it as n times of a minus of b. Same type of question, P and Q, we used it. A few minutes back, we solved the same type of problem, isn't it? N times of a minus of b. So that's what it's being said over here, nothing else. Okay. So now let's proceed to the next question over here. This is the next question. Let's see. How many amongst you will be able to solve this? Now this question is based upon dot products. It was being asked in JEE in 2018. You can see that let A is equals to I cap plus J cap, and B vector over here is being given as 2I cap minus J cap. The magnitude of a coplanar vector C such that A dot C is equal to B, B dot C is equal to A dot B, isn't it? So I will be saying that what is going to be this C. So if I say that let C, I will write it down like this. Dekhiye, both interesting, easy question hai. This is a very easy question. You can see that just this condition is required to be followed. So if I say that let C vector over here is going to be equivalent to, let's try to write it down it as xi cap plus yj cap. So let's try to follow the condition. We will try to follow the first condition over here. The first condition, what is being given? That is, the first condition is being given as A dot C vector, thick dot means the dot product, is equal to B dot C vector. Okay, let's try to follow this operation. A vector is already being given, right? That is I cap plus J cap, isn't it? Dot C vector over here is, that is xi cap plus yj cap, isn't it? That is going to be equivalent to B vector. B vector over here is 2I cap minus of j cap, isn't it? Dot of xi cap plus yj cap. Can I perform the dot product in between them, isn't it? Write down the answer over there in the chat box. The dot product, if you're able to comprehend the dot product over here. So what do you think it's going to be? So this is going to be x plus y. On the LHS I will be getting, and to the right I will be getting it as 2x minus of y, isn't it? This is going to be our equation. Now if I solve this, what I will be getting, let's say, so in this context I will be getting y plus y. If I bring this y to the LHS, and this is going to be 2x minus of x, so I will be getting it as 2y is going to be equal to x. We can mark this as equation number 1. We are getting a relation between x and y. Okay. Now the next thing which we have to do is we need to follow the another operation, that is b dot c is equal to a dot b. So let's try to do this, everyone. So I will write it down over here. That is the next operation is being given as b dot c. Over here thick dot means dot product is going to be equivalent to a dot b, isn't it? It's being given as b dot c is going to be equivalent to a dot b in this question. So b dot c, b vector, once again we can choose it to be as your 2i cap, isn't it, minus of j cap, and dot of the c vector over here, the c vector over here is xi cap plus yj cap, which we have chosen previously. That is equal to a dot b. A dot b means the dot product of this two, that is I cap plus j cap dot of whatever we having, that is 2i cap minus of j cap over here. So if I solve this, what I will be getting, 2x minus, don't just chat over there, everyone, try to solve along with me. What is the answer which you are getting? Just write it down over there in the chat box. Okay, got it? Apart from discussing anything else, should be focusing over here and write down the answer over there in the chat box. So 2x minus y is going to be 2 minus of 1. So I will be getting it as 2x minus 1 is going to be equal to 1, isn't it? So this is going to be equation number 2. Over here it's already been given that x is equal to 2y. Put the value over there, isn't it? X is equals to 2y, isn't it? So 2 into 2y minus y is equals to 1, that is 4y minus y is equals to 1, that is 3y is equals to 1. So I will be getting y as 1 by 3. And along with that, I will be getting the value of x. What will be the value of x? X is 2 times of y. So x is going to be equal to 2 by 3 over here. So what do you think? They are asking us to find out the magnitude over here in the question. So now the vector which we are supposed to find out, so I can say that the c vector is going to be equivalent to x is 2 by 3 I cap, isn't it? Plus j cap by 3, isn't it? So what will be the magnitude? So I can find out the magnitude over here. The magnitude can be found by using this, isn't it? That's mod c is going to be square root of 2 by 3 whole square plus 1 by 3 whole square, isn't it? So that is going to be equivalent to 4 by 9 plus 1 by 9, which is root 5 by 9, which matches with option number 1 of our given list of options. I hope it's clear. If yes, give a thumbs up, hit the like button. Let's proceed to the next question, because today we are doing the brainstorming, isn't it? So this is how you have to solve this type of questions over here. So let's try to proceed to the next question, everyone. Are you ready for that? Okay. I hope it's clear. Give a thumbs up. So this is the next question, everyone, isn't it? So vectors ai cap, bj cap, k cap and 2i cap minus 3j cap plus 4k cap are perpendicular to each other. Then 2a plus b is equal to 7. They are saying, isn't it? Then the ratio of a to b is x by 2. So what we have to do, everyone? They are perpendicular to each one of them. Means, can I find out if I try to perform the cross product? Are we going to be getting something? Isn't it? Because they are already giving us a relation, that is 3a plus 2b is equal to 7. And we have to find out the ratios in between a by b. So what needs to be done, everyone? So if they are already perpendicular to each one of them. If I am going to, let's say if I try to perform the dot product in between them, you know that a dot b is equivalent to ab cos theta, isn't it? Now they have already said to us, this was being asked in 2023, JEE Main 2023, you can see that it was being asked in the January attempt. So they have already given us, right, they are perpendicular to each one of them. That means what is the angle in between them? I can profoundly say that theta is going to be equivalent to 90 degrees. So what I will be doing over here is a dot b is going to be ab cos 90, which is 0. So in other words, we need to find out the dot product in between them and then we can equate it with 0, right? These are the shortcut techniques which you should be using while solving this type of question. So over here it's going to be ai cap plus bj cap, isn't it? Minus of k cap dot of 2i cap, isn't it? Minus of 3j cap plus 4k cap is going to be equivalent to 0. What will be the dot product? I will be getting it as 2a, isn't it? Like unit vectors will be only performing the dot product, isn't it? 2a minus of 3b minus of 4 is going to be equivalent to 0. I hope you are getting this, isn't it? 2a, isn't it? Minus of 3b minus of 4 is going to be equivalent to 0. So we are getting another equation which is 2a minus 3b is equal to 4. We can mark it as equation number 1, let's say, and one of the equation was already being given, that is 3a plus 2b is equal to 7. Can you solve these two equations, everyone? I want the answer over there in the chat box. solve these two equations. These are equation in two variables. Apart from talking, let's try to see that who will be giving me the answer to this question. Use the substitution method to solve this. Let's see. क्या आना चाहिए? 1. I'm not asking the answer, Mridula. Write down the answers of A and B. Write down the answers of A and B. Yes, that is plus k cap itself. So plus 4. Yes, you are right. Plus 4 into plus 4. Yes, very good. 2a minus 3b. सही है. Yes, very good. Minus 4 होगा. Good observation, Mridula. Okay. Yes, I got it. So what I will be getting it after solving it, you are paying attention. That's really great to see that. क्या होना चाहिए? So now you can, yes, A is equal to what? A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2. Yes, you solve it, you will be getting A as 1. Are you getting A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2? Yes. Grishmant, I got it. Plus k cap. Are you getting A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2, everyone? So that means they are asking to find us the value of A by B, isn't it? They are saying the ratio of A is to B. So A by B is nothing but 1 by 2. So over here you can compare this 1 by 2 with x by 2. So over here what I will be getting? X is going to be equivalent to 1. So the answer which they are asking, that is 1. So these are your integer, you can call it as numerical value type questions. Integer type questions will be asked in JEE Advanced. Okay. These are numerical based questions which are being asked in JEE Main. 5 questions will be there. In JEE Main there are 25 questions, okay, everyone. Out of that 20 questions are going to be MCQ. 20 are MCQ and 5 questions you will be getting like this, where you will be asking you to write down the numerical based questions. So that's why you should be ready. So that's why I brought this type of question over. It was being asked in 24th January 2023. Okay. I hope it's clear. If yes, give a thumbs up, hit the like button, and let's proceed to the next question. Okay. If you're having any sort of question, you can ask it from me. Let's try to proceed to the next question, everyone. So now the next question over here is going to be this. Okay, if P is equal to 3i cap plus root 3j cap plus 2k cap and q vector is this, then unit vector in the direction P cross q is this. So what we have to find out? Cross product over here. Let's see. Once again we are having a numerical type question. Once again we are having a numerical type question which was being asked in JEE Main 2023 in the January attempt. So once again we are having a numerical based question or numerical type question, everyone. Okay. So what we have to do over here, you can see that P is equal to 3i cap plus root 3j cap plus 2k cap. So you need to find, they are saying that unit vector in the direction P cross Q, means they are asking you to find out the cross product. Can you find out the answer, everyone? Isn't it? Let's see who will be getting the answer. So let's see. So what we have to do is P cross Q, isn't it? Let's say P cross Q is something R vector I am annotating this with. R vector is P cross Q, and you need to solve this determinant I cap, J cap, K cap. Yesterday for half an hour, if you can recall, we solved n number of questions which are based upon this, isn't it? So what we have to do over here, the coefficients 3 root 3 P cross Q is being asked, isn't it? This, see the operation. So the coefficients of P along I cap, J cap, K cap is required to be written in the second row. You know that thing very well. So 3 root 3 2 over here I will be having 4 root 3 and 2.5, isn't it? So you just need to solve this cross product. What you are getting? Everyone mention me. Kya aana chahiye? So you can write it down over here. This is going to become, write down the answer over there in the chat box. I cap 2.5 root 3 minus of 2 root 3, isn't it? Minus of j cap, what I will be getting, hide this, what I will be getting, 3 into 2.5 minus 4 into 2, isn't it? Cross multiply this while hiding the components beneath the j cap, isn't it? 3 into 2.5 minus 4 into 2 plus k cap over here I will be having it as 3 root 3 minus of 4 root 3, isn't it? So as a result, what I will be getting, everyone, I will be getting it as root 3 I cap. If I take it as common, everyone, then it is going to become 2.5 minus 2 will be 0.5, isn't it? Yes or no, everyone? And over here I will be getting what is 2.5 into 3. Write it down over there in the chat box. 2.5 into 3, everyone, what is the answer? 15, 7.5, isn't it? So over here I will be having j cap 7.5 minus of 8 I will be having, and in this case I can write it down it as root 3 k cap 3 minus of 4 means minus of 1. So now you will be getting over here as, क्या मिलना चाहिए? What I will be getting, so this is going to be equivalent to, what I will be getting, 0.5 root 3 I cap, isn't it? And this is going to become minus 1, isn't it? Sorry, plus 0.5 इधर आएगा. One step if you are going to be performing it wrongly, the entire question will be ending up for negative marks. So that's why you have to be careful. 8 minus 7.5 is minus 0.5, minus sign is there, plus 0.5 j cap, and over here I will be getting it as minus root 3 k cap. So are you getting this vector, everyone? If yes, give a thumbs up. So now they are saying, you can see that root 3 I cap plus j cap, isn't it? And 2 root 3 k cap. So you need to find out the unit vector over here. So what will be the unit vector, everyone? So they are saying you can just try to consider that if I take this 0.5 outside, isn't it? If I take this half outside, what I will be getting? Root 3 I cap, this is what? J cap, isn't it? Over here I will be getting it as 2 root 3. Yes or no? So what is the value of x over here? X is, write down the answer in the chat box, everyone. What is x? This is x over here. X is 2, isn't it? The value of x which they are saying, that is 2 itself over here. I hope you got it. Yes, correct, Yagnashri. If yes, give a thumbs up. 4 nahi, 2 aayega. Jitendra is correct, isn't it? So once again, these type of questions you need to encounter, everyone, in order to understand. If yes, give a thumbs up, hit the like button, and then try to proceed to the next question. Okay, we still have a lot of time left, isn't it? I hope everyone got this value of x as 2. So this is how I am expressing the entire expression to be like. Okay, it was being asked in 25th January 2023 morning session. So let's proceed to the next question. Let's proceed. So this is the next question, everyone. If a vector is 2i cap plus 3j cap minus of k cap is being given, and okay, meters is the SI unit. They are taking about the displacement. Let's say a and b both are displacement vectors, everyone, and b is I cap plus 2j cap plus 2k cap. The magnitude of the component of vector a along b will be m. So once again, what we have to do, they are asking us to find out the projection of a vector on b, isn't it? So first of all, they are asking us to find out the projection of, can you write down the answer over there in the chat box? Projection of a vector on b vector, isn't it? So what we have to do, first of all, you need to perform a dot b, isn't it? A dot b, isn't it? Yes or no? Divided by, you know that the concept yesterday itself I mentioned, day before yesterday itself, the first question, if you can recall. So you can write down this as, this can be written as what? You can write it down it as a dot b, you know that, is equal to ab cos theta. So they are saying, isn't it, magnitude of the component of a along b, they are saying. So a cos theta, they are asking us to find out the x component, isn't it? That is a dot b by b, where b vector's modulus is being asked. So what is going to be a dot b? So you can write down that a cos theta is going to be, a dot b is going to be this 2, isn't it, plus 6. I hope everyone's getting the dot product. 2 I cap means 2, 3 I cap into 2 j cap means 6, isn't it? And over here minus of 2, isn't it, divided by the magnitude of b, which is going to be square root of 1 square plus 2 square plus 2 square. So what I will be getting, everyone? So this is going to be 6, and over here I will be getting it as what? 4 plus 4, 8 plus 1, 9, which is 6 by 3 I am getting. Okay, so a cos theta is 6 by 3 over here in the situation. So now what needs to be done? The component is along, this is the magnitude, but now you need to find out the direction. The direction will be along this b vector, isn't it? So you need to multiply it with b cap over here, isn't it? So b cap is going to be what, everyone? So you can write down that b cap over here is, you know that, that is b vector by mod of b vector, isn't it? So what I will be getting, b vector is going to be equivalent to I cap plus 2j cap. Let me write it down over here. So you can write it down it as, what I will be getting. Write down the answer over there in the chat box, everyone. I cap plus 2j cap plus 2k cap, isn't it? Over here I will be having it as, once again, root 9 itself over here. So they are saying, so what I have to do? So this is going to be equivalent to, you can write it down it as I cap plus 2j cap plus 2k cap, isn't it? Divided by 3. This is what I will be getting it over here. So this, if I cancel it out, this is going to be 2. So they're asking us to find out what? The magnitude they're asking. So what is the magnitude? Magnitude, this is the magnitude, everyone. And what is going to be the direction over here? This term will be denoting the direction, isn't it? So what will be the answer? Write it down over there in the chat box. The answer is going to be, क्या होना चाहिए? 2. 2 is going to be the answer. Are you getting 2 every? Yes, Boruto is correct. So this was being asked in 26 July 2022 in the evening session. I hope it's clear everyone. If yes, give a thumbs up, hit the like button. Let's proceed to the next question. Yes, exactly correct, Mridula. Unit vector means we need to divide with its magnitude. That's what I did, right? B ka unit vector is B by this. So this was B vector and I divided it with its magnitude. So I am getting this is the direction, that is the magnitude, isn't it? So you have give a thumbs up, hit the like button, and let's proceed to the next question. Yes, correct, Mridula. Okay, so next question over here is going to be correct, Mridula. Okay, so next question over here is this one. For the situation shown, what will be the magnitude of the minimum force in Newton that can be applied in any direction? So the resultant force is along this direction. So once again, this is a previous year question itself, but these are very interesting questions over here. What we have to do is, the resultant is along the east direction. What they are trying to say? So these are known as directional sense. Everyone knows direction, right? If you are going to be observing a map in 2 dimension, you know that there are 4 directions: north, east, west and south, isn't it? So this is what is being given: north, east, west and south. For east, what will be the unit vector? I cap. For north, it will be the unit vector is going to be j cap. For west, the unit vector will be minus of I cap, everyone, isn't it? It is going to be minus of I cap, and for south it is going to be minus of j cap. Now you must be thinking that, sir, what about the k cap? In the previous one, how you are getting 2, I am getting the answer out to be 4. Why not 4? How you are getting it as 4? They are asking us to find out the magnitude, right? So 6 by root 9 is what? 2. The entire vector can be written over here. Okay, Sanjana. The entire vector we can write it down. So what is the projection? So you can write it down it as 2 into the entire thing, which is I cap plus j cap, isn't it? Plus 2j cap, sorry, plus 2k cap divided by 3. This is how we can write down completely. So this is going to become 2 by 3 I cap plus 4 by 3 j cap plus 4k cap by 3, right, Sanjana? I think so. 2 is going to be the value. Okay, is everyone getting 2 or 4? Okay, it should be 2 itself. Check it once, Sanjana. Okay, so now let's try to proceed to this question. Over here, the answer is 2 over here in that case. The one before that. How? 2 ही आया. इधर 2 ही आएगा ना? 1 by 2. This is 1 by 2. It's going to be, this is going to be root 3. Isn't it? So I am getting this as what? Minus root 3. So if I get multiplied, this is going to be root 3 itself. 2 ही आएगा इसका भी 2 आएगा. चेक कर लीजिए अच्छे से. इसको incorporate करके देखिए, that is क्या आ जाएगा? root 3 by 2 I cap, isn't it? Plus j cap by 2 minus of root 3 k cap. यही है ना? 1 by 2 is what? 0.5, the one which I was getting it over here, based upon the sign convention. Okay, so it is going to be 2 newtons, which 2 is the value, not the newtons. Okay, got it, Sanjana? Check it once again, Sanjana. I don't know what's wrong. Okay, so now over here in this, everyone's getting 2 over here, isn't it? Just check it once. Okay, there's some calculation glitch, I think so. So over here, what is being given, that they are the directions: north, east, west, south. So what we have to do is the resultant should be along the I cap. So over here, how many forces are we having? We're having 3 forces, isn't it? 4, 5 and 3. So you can see that 4 is already along the x-axis. I can write it down as 4 I cap. And 3 is already along the y-axis, which is 3j cap. The only thing which we have to do is, we need to, so you have to find out the minimum force, isn't it? So now, if I resolve this into components, 5 newtons is resolved into components, I will be getting it as 5 cos 37 I cap, and the y component is going to be 5 sine of 37 j cap, isn't it? So what is going to be cos of 37, everyone? Cos of 37 is 4 by 5. So I will be getting it as 4 I cap itself, and sine 37 is 3 by 5, isn't it? So I will be getting it as 3j cap. So these are going to be the components accordingly. So check the calculation once again, Sanjana. Okay, that's what I will say. So now based upon this, what we have to do, you know how to write down the x components. The x component over here for this question can be written like this: x component is going to be equivalent to, you can write down 4I cap, isn't it? Another 4I cap is also there, very good. Nothing else, 2 x components are there. So that is x component total is going to be 8I cap itself. And now the y component, if I just try to solve it, over here we are having 3j cap and 3j cap, isn't it? So 3j cap plus 3j cap, that is going to be 6j cap. So they are asking us to find out the minimum force that can be applied along any direction. That can be applied in any direction so that the resultant will be along the east direction. So what we can do is, if I write down the resultant, you know that you have to take the resultant, let's say the resultant, let the resultant is R, isn't it? Ri cap. So can I write it down it as Ri cap is going to be 8I cap plus 6j cap, isn't it? This is what the value is going to be, isn't it? And I need to find out the value along the x-axis. So now what do you think should be the minimum force such that I will be getting? We don't have to find out the resultant, we just have to find out the minimum value of force which should be added over here, isn't it? So that means if I really want the final component to be along the x-axis, the y component should be diminishing, isn't it? Yes or no? So that means you need to, what I will be saying, resultant can be anything. If I subtract minus 6j cap, then only I will be getting the final resultant to be 8I cap, which is along the positive direction of x-axis. So what do you think will be the minimum force, everyone? Can you write it down over there in the chat box? So the minimum force has to be 6 newtons itself, isn't it? Actually minus 6 newtons, you can say that 6 newtons if I apply it along the south, then only I will be getting the resultant to be 8I cap, isn't it? That's the minimum saying, and maximum can be any other forces, not 8 newtons, Jitendra. If I add up 8 newtons, I will be getting something 16I cap plus 6j cap, right? It will become oblique, isn't it, Jitendra? So it has to be 6 newtons, right? If I minus 6j cap, then only I will be getting a null vector along the y-axis. What they are saying, so that any direction, so the resultant has to be along the east direction. It's being given as mandatory. So that's why if I subtract, means add minus 6j cap, then only I will be getting the resultant to be 8. And it can have in either values. The maximum value can be anything. Okay, the value of the vector will be ranging from 8I cap to something, isn't it? So that's why 6 newtons is minus 6j cap should be the force which you have to apply along the 6 newtons along the south direction, and I will be getting it as minus of 6 newtons over here, right? So now I hope you got it, Sanjana, the answer to the previous question. I hope everyone's getting 2 over there in that question, isn't it? If yes, give a thumbs up, everyone. Hit the like button. Let's proceed to the next question. This type of questions, this was also being asked in JEE Main itself. Sri Bindu, it's being given. So I hope this components, x component is clear. X total net x component over here is being given as 8I cap newtons, isn't it, Sri Bindu? Y component is being given as 6j cap newtons. So they are saying that minimum force, the magnitude of minimum force which needs to be applied over here in order to get the resultant, the final resultant to be along the east. East means I cap. So how to get, obviously we're having the component along the x-axis to be plus 8I cap itself, isn't it? So over here, what is the difference? Now the resultant, this is the minimum. See, the minimum resultant is 8I cap which I am getting, but they're asking you to find out the what force can be applied in any direction. So if I apply a force along the south, which is minus 6j cap, 6j cap minus 6j cap will be cancelling out and will be giving us a 0 vector along the y-axis, isn't it? So that's why we are adding that minimum force is going to be, I will write it down over here, that minimum force is minus 6j cap newtons, that is 6 newtons along the south, isn't it? 6 newtons along south you need to apply. And the resultant, and if they would have asked what is the minimum value of the resultant, then I would have said that is 8 newtons over here, isn't it? Now I hope it's clear, isn't it? So let's try to proceed to the next question. If yes, give a thumbs up, hit the like button. Okay, let's move to the next question. Okay, that's the last question for today and for vector over here. You can see that 3 vectors A, B, C are such that A is equal to B plus C and their magnitudes are in the ratio 5:4:3, isn't it? So now what we have to do, we need to find the angle in between A and C. Means they are asking you to find out the angle in between the resultant, isn't it? They are asking you to find out the angle between the resultant and what else? Resultant and A vector. That's what they are asking. So 5, 4, 3, directly you can say, is it Sanjana? Now you are getting it, I think so. You might have solve it once again, you will get it for sure. If not, you can, I am here, right, to say that sir, you are wrong. I don't mind to be wrong at all. Okay, because in the end of the day, I am here to enlighten you. Okay, and I am ready to take the challenges as well. Okay, everyone, you are free to mention anything to me. Okay, if I am wrong, you can say. Okay, so now what I will be saying over here is A and C. So now they are saying that eitherly you use, see, you know that 5, 4, 3, the best way of representing it to be in the form of a right angle triangle, isn't it? Where 5 has to be the hypotenuse, isn't it? 5x, let's say. This is going to be 4x and this is going to be 3x. I hope it's clear. So from there itself, I can find it out that the AB, C has to be the resultant in between. C is the resultant. C is the resultant of, you can say that C is the resultant of A and B, if I say. Can I say, everyone? So you need to find out the angle in between C and A. Let's say this theta is being asked to be calculated. Kya hona chahiye, everyone? What do you think? So from the diagram itself, you can see that this tan theta is going to be equal, ratio I am saying, so 5x, 3x, 4x. I am saying that 90 degrees is the angle in between 3 and 4. Between A vector and B vector. This is, let's say, this is B vector. I am writing it down it as, C vector. I am writing it down it as, so let's say, okay, I will follow the sequence. Thank you very much. I will be following the sequence. Okay, if you are having any problem. This is a very easy question and it can be solved within 30 seconds. कैसे देखो? ABC बोल रहा है. So the best way to represent it is going to be, let's say A is the resultant I am getting. Mod of A is equal to 5x, let's say. Mod of B is equal to 4x, let's say. And mod of C is equal to 3x, let's say. So it follows the Pythagoras triplet, isn't it? We can consider it to be as the Pythagoras triplet, isn't it? So what we are going to do is, this is 90, this is going to be theta. So now they are asking you to find out the angle between A and C. So I can directly say that tan of theta, now this B magnitude, you can say this is going to be acting as the base of the, you can say that this is the perpendicular of the right angle triangle, isn't it? So now what, yes, 53 is correct. So I can write it down it as 4x by 3x over here. So tan of theta is going to be equivalent to 4 by 3. So theta is going to be equivalent to tan inverse of 4 by 3. So I will be getting theta as 53 degrees, isn't it? So that's what they're asking us to find. So that's the best way. I hope you got, everyone got this answer itself, isn't it? I hope you got 53 degrees, everyone. If yes, give a thumbs up. This marks the end of vectors for your Bridge Course Physics curriculum for IIT JEE 2027 main and advanced. Okay. So if yes, give a thumbs up, hit the like button, everyone. So tomorrow we will start units and dimensions. So that's what it is. Units and measurement will be done tomorrow. Okay. So now units and dimension is also going to be a very scoring topic. And trust me that it's going to be scoring as well, because certain questions of JEE Advanced can be easily solved by using the concept of units and dimensions. Dimension analysis is a method by which you can solve most of the questions of JEE Advanced, especially the MMCQ questions based upon the equation form. Okay. So I hope it's clear, everyone. Vectors, it's over. Tomorrow we'll start units and measurement, units and dimensions for the final 2 days of this Bridge Course session. If you want to ask anything, you can ask, everyone. So thank you, Sanjana. I knew that means it's not a problem. If we are over here, it's not about, I'm saying you right. Like if you feel free to say anything, okay. If you are saying, if you're finding anything to be wrong, I'm a teacher who is much more interested to understand the mindset of each and every one of you, to help you out in order to attain glory. I'm over here to give you glory, everyone. Isn't it? So, yes, anyone, if you want to ask. This chapter, Venkateshwara, means they can, it depends upon the situation. Okay, just go to the revision once. Go through, solve the questions of H.C. Verma, and if you go to the college, try to solve the questions over there in the objective material. But try to follow my notes. The notes whatever I've given, that is sufficient. Means nothing else is required for you all. You just need to know this itself. Nothing else is required. Okay, fine then. Thank you very much for today's session. I need n number of likes from your side. You can share this lecture session to your friends, to any of the Telegram channel, WhatsApp channel, whatever you are having. So thank you very much. It's Avinav Banerjee for you departing right now. And don't forget to subscribe our Sri Chaitanya Educational Institutions channel. Tomorrow we'll start units and measurement.